Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we're gonna talk about the show that we have tomorrow, and it is the Europa Pro in Germany. And basically, it is the same show like we had in Italy, only Sergio Oliva Jr. is not doing this show. For some reason, he stayed in Italy. He's having a vacation, I guess, and I guess he stopped his competitive season. Why is that? Does he feel like he can't win this show? He can't beat Urs or Quinton Aria or Mark Hector or whoever? I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he quit, but yeah, he's not doing this show, unfortunately. I thought he actually had a good chance of potentially beating these guys if he picked a little bit better. You guys know in his previous post, he talked about how the mistake was that he didn't peak perfectly. He listened to his coach, Stefan Kinsel, who told him to eat more food while he actually needed to eat less. I thought he was going to try and fix this mistake, but no, he's not competing. He's not doing this show. Actually, this show is going to be most likely between Urs Kalecinski and, again, Quinton Aria. We also have another very interesting entry of Roman Fritz. Now, what can we expect from Roman? There is this video that he uploaded. I don't know, guys. I mean, he looks a little bit like like his conditioning is not looking super great. But this guy is always in great condition. This guy is always shredded. So this was a 2 weeks out. Something he's probably going to be peeled. But is he going to be big enough, full enough, round enough, complete enough to beat these guys like Quinton and Urs? I mean, these guys are not like top Olympia guys. They were never at the Mr. Olympia. Urs was in Classic Physique, of course, and he just switched to the Open. Quinton never qualified for the Mr. Olympia, so these are not exactly super high caliber bodybuilders. Roman, I think he was. He won a couple of shows, so on paper, he's actually the favorite here. But I don't see it that way. I'm pretty sure the other guys have a bit of an advantage, both Urs and Quinton. But again, I'm not sure. Quinton never won a show so far, but I think he has a superior physique, and I would say Urs does as well. But we'll see. Maybe Roman will surprise. We'll see about that. But I think we need to focus on those two guys, Quinton and Urs, because I think that's going to be the rematch. Now, as far as Quinton, we actually got a couple of very interesting physique updates from him at 1 day out. Let's take a look at them. So the lighting here looks very good. You can see clearly what his physique looks like right now. And honestly, guys, what I'm thinking looking at this is that, he kind of lost his fullness somewhere along the way. I mean, this prep is a very, very long prep for Quinton. This is going to be his fourth show this season. I really liked what he brought to the Tampa Pro, and he was very close to winning that show. Jordan Hutchinson, defeated him. He was a little bit better, but ever since the Tampa Pro, Quinton never really brought the same look. At Texas, he was big and full, but not as conditioned. And at Italy Pro, he was flatter, for sure flatter, and with similar condition, I would say. And at this point right here, it kind of looks to me that he's losing that fullness, that size weekly. It seems like he's not able to hold that fullness, that size, and also keep the condition for a very long time. And that's very common, guys. I mean, in some cases, you can bring up the food, really bring up the food, and you can lower the cardio, maybe train less even, but, you can only do that for a certain amount of time. You can't do that forever. At some point, your physique is gonna start to fade, and I think that's exactly what is happening to Quinton's body right now. It's just not responding anymore. I had clients like that before. Once they get in shape, their metabolism gets super, super fast, and the only way to prevent their physiques from crumbling is giving them a whole bunch of food, a lot of carbs with insulin if needed, and they actually maintain the condition and the fullness, but only for so long. You can't keep going like that forever, obviously. At one point, your body is gonna say no, and I think that's probably what's happening with Quinton right now. I don't see him bringing what he brought to that first show, Tampa Pro. I guess he has that kind of a physique. He looks his absolute best at the first show, and after that, it starts declining. I've seen a lot of guys with those kind of genetics, and it seems like Quinton is one of them. Now, at this show, he's not going against like top 5 Olympians, so even like that, even with this kind of a look, which is again, good condition for sure, a lot of size, yeah, maybe not his absolute best, but overall he looks good. It's not like he looks bad. I still think with this kind of condition, he can probably still win. All he needs to do, really, is to defeat a former classic guy and, I guess, Roman Fritz and some other guys as well. Amir Omeragic is doing the show, Louis Breed. There'll be a couple of other great bodybuilders, but really, he needs to beat Urs Kalecinski. Can Quinton Aria beat Urs Kalecinski? I think it's definitely possible. I thought it was very close between these two guys at Italy Pro, and we'll see about this weekend, but if Urs comes in a little bit off, which is a possibility, and Quinton comes in good enough, since Quinton is not qualified for the Mr. Olympia, there are solid chances of them giving the victory to Quinton. However, the show is in Germany. There's probably a bunch of German judges, so we'll see how will that go. Now, as far as Urs, who is basically the point of this video, we have a physique update from him. Let's take a look at this. Okay, what have we got here? Well, as you can see, this is Urs, only 2 days out of Germany, out of Europa Pro. And honestly, guys, what I'm seeing right here is that I don't think he's in great condition at this point. If he stepped on the stage with this back, with this softness in his back, I don't know if that will play out really well. But then again, there is 2 more days to dry out, so I think he's going to be peaked well enough. Did he manage to improve something? I mean, what kind of improvements can you expect in 1 week? Well, actually, you can improve certain things. For example, the way he's hitting the poses. Now that you saw what he looks like on stage, on the open stage, in certain poses, you can probably try and change those things. And one thing he can most certainly change, and I think he will change this, is his midsection control. Because he was blasting full at Italy Pro, blasting full. Like, that was some crazy level of fullness. And what he can do for this show is, no, not come in flatter. No, definitely not that. But he can try and carb up a little bit earlier, before the show, if Stefan Kinston knows how to do that. But I've been listening to some guys who were coached by Stefan, like Regan Grimes, and he was giving them a whole bunch of food the day of the show without any salt. So it seems like what this guy is doing is like he's gonna feed Urs up until the show. That's probably what they did for the Italy Pro, and that's why Urs's midsection was a bit bloated. I mean, Stefan is one of the best coaches in the world, one of the most popular coaches for sure. I can't say he doesn't know what he's doing, but I think that was probably the mistake. Having Urs eat that much food to the show. Sergio Oliva made the same mistake, he talked about it, and for Urs it worked. His physique was phenomenal, but his midsection wasn't that great. It wasn't as good as it was in Classic. So that's something they can fix if, again, Stefan knows how to fix that. Like, what they need to do is carb up before the show and then maintain the fullness the day of the show with proper manipulation of electrolytes, not by eating more food without any sodium or potassium. But we'll see what Stefan is going to do. I'm not claiming to be a better coach than Stefan, but I don't know how he's doing things, how he's approaching this. But hey, I have my own ways of prepping guys for the show. I don't do protocols the way Stefan does them. I mean, it's always depending on the situation, on the person, on the body. But anyways, guys, if you want to hire me as your coach, just DM me on Instagram. I'm not expensive as the other top level coaches, of course. I'm also very, very available. Like, I don't have 300 clients. I respond to everybody very quickly, and I'm always there for you. So if you want to hire me as a coach, DM me at Even Bodybuilding on Instagram. Anyways, as far as Urs, really, the only thing he can do at this point is that one thing. Try and come in as full as he was at Italy Pro, just without having his midsection bloated the way it was at Italy. I mean, he has a small waist, having a midsection that is full like that is not gonna hurt him too much. He still has a small, tiny waist, but if he improves that, if he fixes that mistake, he can look even more impressive. That's one thing. The other thing is, like, maybe he can try and maybe switch some of his poses, the way he's hitting them. I am not sure if there are any weak poses for him in open bodybuilding. The pose that he was hitting wrong, I think everything was really good. His posing, his presentation, everything was spot on. But we'll see if anything is going to be different. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is Urs's back. Now, this is not something he can change in a week. He can't make any changes for the Europa Pro. But his back is kind of starting to look to me like maybe there's some sort of a nerve damage starting to show. You know, the same thing that happened to his calf. I mean, maybe it's just the water that he's holding in it right now, but it kind of looks like the insertions are starting to get shorter. Like, it seems like the lats are starting to look smaller. I mean, he has the width, he has a pop in his lats, but from the back, like, the insertions are kind of starting to look a little bit weird. I mean, kind of like Ian Valier's back in the day. I mean, a couple of years ago. It's not back in the day, it was actually pretty recently. But I don't know if you guys are noticing the same thing, but it kind of does look like that. And maybe that is exactly the reason why he had to put some SEO in the lats to make them look bigger. But it seems like the insertion, the muscle fibers are starting to look a little bit odd. I don't know if it's nerve damage or just him being super full at this point and watery, but it does look a little bit weird. And this is not something that is concerning me as far as the Europa Pro. This is just me talking about Urs's future in open bodybuilding. If this is an issue, it needs to be looked at and possibly fixed. His calf probably will never come back, but let's hope his back doesn't fade away and disappear completely. But if everything goes well for Urs and he keeps competing in open bodybuilding and keeps putting on more size, he only had 1 year, guys, less than 1 year to put on more size. If he adds another 10, 20, or even 30 pounds of muscle over the course of the next couple of 3, 4, 5 years, there is a solid chance of this guy even like winning the Mr. Olympia. It's not impossible. But we'll see what's going to happen with his back, and let's wait actually and see what's going to happen tomorrow at the Europa Pro. Can he win this show? Can he win 2 pro shows back to back? Can he defeat Quinton Aria again? That's the question. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hire me as a coach, DM me at Even Bodybuilding Coaching on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.